The USF community prepares meals for Feed My Starving Children, students receive salsa dance lessons, and students find out where they will be living on campus next year.
I'll listen more coming up next on College Week.
From the McDonald Center on the campus of the University of Sioux Falls, this is College Week. With Brett Geese, Jaden Miller, and Dakota Case with sports.
Good morning, I'm Brett Geese.
And I'm Jaden Miller. Thanks for joining us. Well, Brett, this past Thursday we had a fun opportunity to serve with the Feed My Starving Children mobile pack here on campus. Were you able to help out with that at all?
Sadly, I wasn't. I had to go out of town that day, but were you able to help?
Yeah, I signed up for an afternoon shift. It was pretty fun.
Nice. On Thursday, the USF community volunteered to prepare meals for the children in the developing world. USF partnered with the Twin Cities-based nonprofit organization Feed My Starving Children. Students prepared meals that fed people in nearly 70 countries. Each meal only cost 22 cents.
Entrepreneurial students designed the first foam cougar paw to help fundraise for the Feed My Starving Children mobile pack. The foam cougar paw costs $9 and can be picked up at Student Development, the USF bookstore, or by contacting Keith Cutler. USF entrepreneurial students will continue to sell the foam cougar paw through May 13th.
The USF campus hosted their second annual Salsa Night last Wednesday, April 24th at the Jeske Fine Arts Center. College Week's Arenia Samaniego shares more with us about this great opportunity for students.
With a teacher brought all the way from South America, USF campus hosted their second Salsa Night. Isabel Moscoso, a kindergarten teacher, shared with us why she believes salsa is an important dance.
Salsa is important for stretching yourself and also for releasing your stress and for having fun.
Some USF students were concerned they weren't up for the challenge, but Señorita Moscoso believed the opposite.
I think they are awesome. I mean, they follow the steps and they learned 13 steps today and they had lots of fun, so I think they did a great job.
Ronald Ana Luisa, the Spanish cultural advisor, talks more about the reason why USF has decided to assemble this Salsa Night.
I think we decided to do this because last time we did it, it was a complete success here at school, and we had a bunch of students coming. So we decided, why not do it again? So we just decided to do it again, and it was a pretty good success, all of the students had fun, and I think it's a very good way to practice Spanish and then dance as well.
Ana Luisa also hopes that this becomes a USF tradition.
This is the second time at USF, so hopefully it will be like a good tradition for the future.
Well, Salsa Night was a complete success tonight, and as Ronald said, we're hoping to have it every year.
Hopefully it will become a tradition at USF. You can come and dance.
Woo!
Each spring, a room draw is held on campus to determine where students will be living next fall. College Week's Kristen Vanderpool explains how the increase in students has resulted in a frustrating outcome for many students who will be living on campus next year.
Each spring, students participate in room draw to select their housing for the next year. This year, however, many students left room draw feeling frustrated about the outcome. Tina Spade, resident life coordinator, explains that next year many sophomore girls will once again be living in the freshman dorms.
It was kind of unexpected with room draw coming up and not really knowing where our numbers were, and then when it all fell out, we ended up having a lot more females needing housing on campus, and we're not really sure where that crossover came from or what exactly happened in not having as many males on campus as we've had in the past, but it was an overwhelming number of females that are now living in Kroski and GI as of now for next school year, and we're just working out the details and trying to figure out what's best for them and what's best for the campus as a whole.
Audrey Kilizowski is a freshman who will again be living in Grand Island, the freshman girls' dorm next year, even though her roommate is a sophomore by credits. She says that the room draw is a fair system, but is still disappointed by the outcome.
I just think there's too many people. It's pretty fair because it goes by age and grade, but it was hard because a lot of sophomores didn't get in.
The reason for the current housing problems is really a blessing in disguise, according to Spade, and she points to the hard work of the admissions office.
Admissions has done a great job this year. They've really worked hard at getting new students to come, and a lot of their efforts have really gone into getting more students.
Keegan Warwick is a USF admissions counselor, and he says that this year brought in 267 full-time students, which is an increase from previous years, and that incoming enrollment for next fall is looking similar.
Well, as for this year, we just looked at numbers, and we're only like a handful of students behind of where we were last year, and so we're kind of on track to have the same size class for next year. Those classes have been larger than what they were in the past. Just because, like we said, we've had more influx of inquiries looking at USF. So,
according to Spade, the Resident Life Department is confident that many spaces will open up in the upperclassmen dorms for next fall, and there will be enough rooms to accommodate the larger class sizes for now.
At this point, I think there are about 24 pairs of freshman girls that will need to be living in GI or Kroski, but that number will fluctuate and change by the time the fall comes, and that's usually how it goes. We usually have quite a few groups of students that are registered and signed up to live in Kroski or GI, but over the course of the summer, students will withdraw, not return, or plan to live off campus that were signed up for CB or Sullivan.
For USF College Week, I'm Kristen Vanderpaul.
Coming up next, South Dakota State makes history with their largest fundraiser ever.
We'll be right back.
South Dakota State University recently set a record by topping the largest higher education fundraiser in the history of the state of South Dakota. SDSU's It Starts With State campaign has raised over $255 million in gifts and pledges. The campaign began in January of 2007. Some of the goals behind the campaign include strengthening the university's faculty and increasing student opportunities. Over 23,000 donors contributed to the total amount raised.
This week, USF students had the opportunity to vote for a new Student Senate president to represent the student body. Candidates for president included Danica Nash, Ben Shield, and Zach Corio, with vice president candidates Laura Johnson, John Nebelsick, and Caleb Vierink, respectively. Voting ended Wednesday night, and the winners have not yet been posted, but check your USF email for the results.
The USF Theater Department will see changes this next school year. College Week's Ryan Howe has more on the story.
After 1 year at USF, theater professor Krista Jo Miller is moving on.
My husband actually got a really good opportunity at another university. In our married life, we've kind of lived by the premise that we will look at opportunities from all sides and we will make a decision about what is best for us as a family.
Miller took over the theater program after director Kim Bartling's departure last year. In her time at USF, Miller directed The Two Gentlemen of Verona and The Fantastics, and produced USF's most recent show, The Laramie Project. Miller says she enjoyed the transition from teaching in California to teaching in South Dakota.
As far as the school goes, the school has been great. I was born and raised in Oklahoma, so I'm kind of from the Plains area, and I really felt like I had come back to people that thought like me, felt like me, and so it made it a little bit easier to interact.
Despite her departure at the end of the year, Miller is trying to organize a prospective theater season for next year. She says having the shows picked out for next year may aid the search for a new director.
The shows weren't chosen for me when I came in. I understand the previous theater director probably thought that I would prefer to choose my own productions. At the same time, I know for me, because I so much want to choose things that are good for the students to do, I would have preferred that the season be chosen for me before I came in by someone who knew the students and knew what they were capable of doing. So I'm trying to do that for the next person.
Miller says it was wonderful to work in South Dakota and says the decision to leave was never about them being unhappy at USF. With photographer Dakota Case, I'm Ryan Howe for College Week.
College students often have a hard time finding a new and enjoyable place to have a meal, but College Week's Dylan Dwyer has found a place worth checking out.
Located in downtown Sioux Falls is Ched's Gourmet Grilled Cheese. This restaurant serves all sorts of different sandwiches that are a good change of pace from typical fast food. Scott Hatch, the owner of Ched's, says he thinks the most important ingredient at his restaurant is cheese.
The guy who founded the restaurant concept was from La Crosse, Wisconsin. So he, of course, gave it the Wisconsin theme. So we only use, obviously we're a grilled cheese restaurant, so the most important thing is obviously cheese. And so we only use Wisconsin cheese. All of our cheese, we don't use anything that's produced anywhere other than in Wisconsin. So, and we feel that provides a good quality to our food because Wisconsin's obviously known for its cheese. So, so then everything else, our decor and everything in here has obviously taken on a Wisconsin theme.
Lots of college students don't know where they can go to enjoy a delicious meal in a friendly environment. The same places can get boring, and some places can be way too expensive. Hatch says he can relate to college students, and Ched's is a great place to try out.
I've been in college, obviously, and I know what it's like to be a college student, and you can't always afford to go out and have a $50 meal at a expensive restaurant. So we're an excellent option as far as something more along the $10 price range. It's very affordable, very fun place to eat. Just a nice laid-back, casual atmosphere. Also, downtown we're very close to, the USF, and then also, Augustana. All the colleges are very close by. So, just a great atmosphere and perfect place for people of all ages to eat at.
If you're looking for a place to get a nice sandwich with a great atmosphere, then Ched's is the place. For College Week, I'm Dylan Dwyer.
So Jaden, I know I struggle to study in my room. Is there a place you go to study?
Yeah, I actually go to a cafe almost every day, if not more than once a day, simply because it's right down the street from my house, so it's really convenient.
Nice. Coffee shops are a popular place for students to retreat when they can enjoy a nice cup of coffee as they study. College Week's Hannah Olson reports on how one local coffee house is expanding in Sioux Falls.
Coffea Roastery is a local coffee business and is a favorite of many college students. USF junior Rachel Gould says the atmosphere and the people are what keep her coming back.
It's pretty chill music, which is good, and I really like the atmosphere. It's generally, you can talk to people, but it's also if you're by yourself, it's fine. People that come here are friendly, and they'll talk to you if you want to talk to them, but if you're studying, it's also a good place to study and kind of get away by yourself for a little while.
Coffea will be opening a second location downtown in the space currently occupied by Kaladi's Cafe. Coffea co-owner Jenna Ackerman says she is excited to expand into new territory.
I actually haven't considered a second location very seriously because I've never really wanted to do that, but it was one of the best locations probably in Sioux Falls, in my opinion, for what we want to do. I think we're really taking what we do here, which is we love coffee, we love making great coffee, and keeping that focus and bringing that downtown. So.
Ackerman says the move is an opportunity for Coffea to foster a coffee culture in the downtown area.
So we thought about, keeping the quality, but maybe having fun with doing some different stuff, maybe having some different drink items down there, and just giving it a little different vibe than here. So I don't have a very big desire to have a cookie cutter, shop. We're not franchising. We're not. We're really kind of, I think, adding on in a good way. This gives us an opportunity to do something a little different.
Gould says she doesn't frequent the downtown area, but says she is enthusiastic about having another cafe.
My parents come and visit me sometimes, particularly my dad. So then, that's a good way to get him to go to cafe because he likes going downtown.
Ackerman says they hope to have their downtown location open by June, fully operable by midsummer. For College Week, I'm Hannah Olson.
Coming up next, Dylan Dwyer sits down with USF basketball player Marie Malloy.
We'll be right back.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of Java Talk. I'm your host Dylan Dwyer, and with me today I have freshman basketball player Marie Malloy. How are you doing today, Marie?
Good, how are you?
I'm great. So before we get started, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background, where you're from, and how you ended up at USF?
I'm from Parkson, South Dakota. I grew up there my whole life, and I came here because my brother and sister both played on the basketball team here at USF, so I always was watching their games, so I decided to come here on a basketball scholarship as well.
All right. So you had a pretty memorable senior season, you could say, in high school. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, our first round of districts, we won on a last-second three-point shot. to send us to regions, where we also won. And then we ended up at state, and then our first game at state, we ended up winning again on a last-second shot. And then in the semifinals, again, we won by 1 point. And then in the state championship, I went down in the first minute, and I tore my ACL.
So for those who don't know what a torn ACL is, it's the same injury that Adrian Peterson had and Derrick Rose suffered. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how much that set you back and the kind of rehabilitation you had to do?
Well, you lose a lot of muscle in your leg that you tear your ACL, so it takes a lot of hard work to gain all that back. So you have to go through a lot of physical therapy. It takes about 6 months of physical therapy, but you're not back like full health until about a year.
So that physical therapy that you had to do, did you do it at the University of Sioux Falls or around town, or talk a little bit about that?
I did it at the Orthopedic Institute with 2 trainers there, and you do a lot of different drills to strengthen that muscle back up.
Okay, so obviously you fixed your knee and you're back in the game. How was it getting back into the game after not being able to play it for so long?
It's really tough, especially you have to wear a knee brace for the first year after tearing an ACL. And it's a big transition anyway from high school to college, and it made it very difficult.
So in your first year of college, the Cougars were 12-15 overall and 9-13 in conference. What do you have to say about that?
Well, not too happy about that. Hopefully next year we can improve to at least over 500 in the conference and just get a better record, hopefully.
So with that, some seniors are going to be leaving, but not too many. Why don't you tell us a little about the seniors who are leaving?
We have 3 seniors leaving, Holly Agan, Kelly Hoff, and Alyssa Rushton, 2 of which are starters, Alyssa Rushton and Holly Agan, so we're really going to miss them, but Kelly Hoff was a key player as well, so all 3 players we're really going to miss.
So your coach, what's his name again?
Travis Trapphagen.
Travis Trapphagen. Talk a little bit about his coaching style and what you like and maybe don't like about it a little bit.
Well, I really like him as a coach, and he's very aggressive. Like, he always gets the best out of us. He makes us work really hard. He yells, but I think it's good for us.
Okay. So in your first year, talk about the competition that you faced and part of the reason that you maybe were 9-13 in the NSIC.
Well, we just went up this year into the NSIC, so it was new for us, and it's a lot tougher competition than what we were in before. Like, when I went to my brothers and sisters game, they didn't struggle as much as we did. So it's a tough transition. The game's quicker. Girls are stronger in the NSIC.
So to keep up, there's a lot of training that you guys do in the off season, and now that is the off season. What kind of programs are you guys doing to keep going?
We lift a lot. We lift really heavy. That's what we're doing right now in postseason. Not a lot of running, but we lift a lot. And then this summer we'll run and lift.
And do you do that here on campus with the trainers, or?
We do it out at the bubble out there with Coach Mathers and Coach Steffen.
This year you got to see new renovations to the Stewart Center gym here at the University of Sioux Falls with new locker rooms and some floor renovations. How's that been for you so far?
Well, we love the locker room. We have an 80-inch TV in there, which is nice, an Xbox to play games, couches. It's a really nice locker room, and I really like the added seating to the Stewart Center. When I used to come to my brothers and sisters games, when I didn't play, there wasn't much seating, but now they added a lot more, which is nice.
So what is your biggest improvement that you're going to try and make going forward here in your career at USF?
Probably just becoming a lot stronger. I was kind of small this year, and I just want to gain on my strength.
Okay. So earlier on this show, I had Alex Roby, and we did a segment where I played him in one-on-one. If you and I played one-on-one, who do you think would win?
Me, of course.
Well, I don't know about that. That's all the time we have here now. Stay tuned for some more sports with Dakota Case. Thank you, Marie.
Now here's a look at sports with Dakota Case.
So Dakota, may not look like it, but it's baseball season, right?
It is indeed. We had snow on the ground yesterday. It was May 1st, but that's all melted away, and I think we're ready to get back out on the diamond.
Which is something that we need.
Absolutely. But you know what? We're going to talk about USF baseball here in just a little bit. First, USF track and field is in the midst of its outdoor season. Last weekend at the Gustavus Alternative, Jagger Gran cleared 15 feet 9 1/4 inches in the pole vault for a top 15 finish. Jordan Bentz broke the USF record in the hammer throw with a toss of 161 feet. Bentz finished 5th in the event and 3rd in the shot put. On the women's side, Kirsty Townley won the 110-meter hurdles and finished as the runner-up in the 400-meter hurdles and triple jump. Meanwhile, at the NSIC multi-event in Aberdeen, Caitlin Sawtell placed second in the heptathlon with 4,728 points. Taylor Majerus and Carson Ricard finished 6th and 8th respectively in the men's heptathlon. The USF women are ranked 22nd in the latest United States Track and Field and Cross Country Coaches Association poll. USF returned home this weekend to compete at the Howard Wood Relays. On the diamond, the USF baseball team wraps up their season this weekend at home against Winona State for a 4-game homestand. Last weekend, the Cougars went 2-2 on the road against Concordia St. Paul. As baseball wraps up, the USF softball team finished their season last weekend on a high note. Senior Priscilla Quintana blasted a leadoff walk-off home run in her final at-bat to lead the Cougars to a 4-3 victory over Northern State in 10 innings. USF split with the Wolves and finished 15-27 overall and 10-18 in NSIC play. College Week's John Vandentop sat down with head coach Travis Lape to recap the season.
Mother Nature kept the University of Sioux Falls softball team off of the diamond for most of the season, as the team only played 8 home games. Head coach Travis Lape describes the role of practice while forced to be indoors.
Being indoors is no fun, and when we were indoors as long as we were, we really had to be creative as coaches to really make sure we kept practice upbeat, that we were still getting the things done that we needed to, but that we were spending more time just keeping their spirits up that we're going to get to play, and when we do get to play, go out and play hard.
While the record doesn't show success, Lape says this team was tougher than the record indicates.
You know, I think the biggest thing is that this team was battle-tested early and quite often. A lot of our games went extra innings, and they were tight ball games, pitcher duels, maybe not getting a bunt down to move a runner. And so our girls really, throughout this whole year, were battle-tested with some of the best teams in the NSIC, and some of the best teams in the country is right here in our conference. And so next year, our young kids really should come in with some confidence, believing in our program, believing in what they're doing because of what they've went through this year. And so I'm excited to see where they go next year in the sense of that direction because of what they saw this year.
The USF softball team will be graduating 6 seniors, and Lape says that they were a big contribution to team morale this year.
Hats off to our seniors. They're a great group of young ladies, 6 of them that really poured their heart into this program for the last 4 years and really took us through the transition from NAIA to the Division II level this year. And they really kept the girls upbeat, knowing that there's a bigger picture at the end of this tunnel. And we continue to remind them of our goals and what we wanted to achieve at the end. And so those 6 really being the spearheads of that initiative really allowed us to move forward and keep our girls upbeat throughout the whole process of being indoors.
While the team will be losing the 6 seniors, the future is bright for this young squad.
Moving forward, next year we're going to be a young team. We return our 2 pitchers, Bailey and Amanda, which is always great for a softball team, is when you can return your two number 1 and number 2 pitchers. We're going to return our catcher who's behind the plate, so another year of a catcher being behind the plate for us is always good. And then really we're going to be young on the field. We've got to replace a third, a short, a second, and a first baseman. And so we've got some young kids that are really starting to show that aspiration that they want to play at this level and they want to be there. So we're excited to see that moving forward.
For USF College Week, I'm John Vandentop.
And that wraps up another edition of USF College Week. I'm Brett Gies.
And I'm Jaden Miller. And Brett, you'll be graduating soon, which I'm sure you're excited about.
Yeah.
And we'll also be leaving you with the newest music video by Lucas De La Cruz celebrating graduation. Thanks for stopping by.
Looking back, I feel that 20 plus years just cruise past. Every single year moves so fast. I got the reins in my hands trying to pull back. Oh man, a lot of times I just reminisce. Chilling with my friends and remember this. All the stupid things I did, was it worth it? Even think back to every single first kiss. Yeah, now I think about how far I come. Yo, this the last year, yeah, I'm finally done. High school diploma, didn't know what was after. Now college graduate, time to start a new chapter. Yeah, we made it to graduation. Congratulations, feels so amazing to have finally made it to graduation. Congratulations, the future's for the taking. Ooh, I'm graduated. Have dreams of rocking the stage, maybe that'll come true someday. But if not, it's all good, keep chillin', I ain't trippin', you see. Always keep writing songs, always do it for me. Yeah, as far as money goes, I'ma make a lot of dough. Keep grinding and see how high my money grows. But when my money's slow, I'll make more. I'm too young to worry, so I see how far my money goes. Life's all about the chances you take. Opportunities come and go, that's a part of the game. Whichever way you go, another journey awaits. It's all up to you to make the experience great. Got the tools to succeed, I will never forget that. So for me to succeed is the best way to give back. How work pays off no matter what is in store. Finally got that degree, now it's time to explore. Yeah, we made it to graduation. Congratulations, so amazing to have finally made it to graduation. Congratulations for the taking. Ooh, I'm graduated. I wanna thank all my teachers, friends, and my family for believing in me, yeah. Because of you, it's only right that I achieve all my dreams. All my life worked so hard for this. Me being me, don't have the heart to quit. I got my degree and a whole lot of confidence to go out and achieve all accomplishments. This is a new page to write in, but only you can write the story. Go ahead and get to writing. No need to be frightened. This is God's plan, and now you got the world in the palm of your hands. Cause we made it to graduation. Congratulations, it's so amazing to have finally made